Hello, everyone, and welcome to the virtual FAQ for the 2019 Rising Second Year Room Selection. My name is John Ganser, and today we're going to be going through the application for second year students, and at the end we can open it up to any general questions that y'all may have. If there are specific questions that you have that are related to your student account or anything like that, you can come to our drop-in hours, so that way we can discuss those individual student concerns in the privacy of an office. But if you have general questions about the process, we can certainly answer those. So yeah, we can go ahead and get started. You can access the application either through Pioneer Web, under the student tab, or through our website. We have an apply for housing link on there. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in as a test user here so we can start looking at the application a little bit. So this is kind of our general front page for housing. You may remember this from applying as a first year student. We're going to go ahead and click on application here. Currently we have 3 applications open. For the room selection process, you're going to want to click on the academic year 2019-2020 application. And this is going to take you directly into the application. So as a reminder, the University of Denver requires all first and second year students post high school to live in university housing and subscribe to a meal plan of at least 100 block or higher. The application will be open until April 4th at 11:59 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. All second year students must complete the application before this date to be eligible to participate. So from now until April 4th, you'll want to decide whether you want to live by yourself next year or go through room selection as a single, or if you want to go through as a group. You can go through and create a group of up to 6 people because we do have 6-person suites in Nelson. Those are 3 double occupancy rooms with no kitchen. One of the most important parts to remember is to choose your group leader wisely, as this individual is responsible for everybody's placement. So the group leader will create the group, verify the group, and then on April 12th, we will send out a notification of your time slot when you can log back into the portal to select your room. At that time, there will be another page that'll pop up in your application for you to select. So basically, you'll either get a really good time slot at the beginning of room selection when there's tons of availability, or you'll get one towards the end of room selection when there's not so much available anymore because it's all been selected, or somewhere in between. And we do our lottery number generation through our database, StarRes. That's how your time slot will be created and subsequently disseminated to you. If you're a student who has an approved housing accommodation through Disability Services Program, you have 2 choices. You can either select early as an individual into a space that meets your accommodation needs, but no friends can join you in that placement, in which case you can either contact housing@du.edu to schedule a meeting, or I'll be reaching out to students with DSP accommodations later this week to schedule a meeting. Or you can still participate as a group with your friends to work on getting your needs met through the room selection process. It is recommended that the DSP student be the group leader so you can select the spaces that meet your needs first, followed by your group's needs/wants. After room selection, if you do not get your accommodation needs met, you can go on the wait list to be moved into a space that matches your accommodation needs, but we cannot guarantee that your friends will go with you. We do have 2 themed communities in our second year buildings. We have our all gender housing option /floor, which is in Nelson Hall. And we have our global res theme community, which is in Hilltop. So both of those applications are here. You will need to fill out the housing application and the themed community application through Qualtrics here. And our Director of Residential Education, Corey Marcus, is your contact for that. We do have more drop-in hours for the rest of this month listed here. Those will be in the housing office, which is in Nagel 136. And tonight y'all are in the virtual FAQ session. Any other questions, you can contact Housing and Residential Education at the phone number here or via email, or you can stop by Nagel 136 Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. All right, so let's get into the application here. So all of this information, your personal details and emergency contact information, this is populated through Pioneer Web. If everyone on the line could mute their microphones on the other end there, we're getting a little bit of feedback on the other end. Great, thanks. So the personal details, if you need to update any of this information, you can update this through Pioneer Web. So none of these fields can be edited within the application here because that's auto-populated. So just go through this section here, make sure your emergency contact information is correct. If it's not, log into Pioneer Web. But if it is, you can save and continue. You can upload a photo. You most likely did this during your first year application process. So if you want to choose a new one, you can certainly do that. Or you can not use one. The picture won't be disseminated in any way or shared externally. But it does stay within our database. So we're going to leave the picture of the koala up here. So we have this profile on here. It's the same one that you filled out for your first year. Just kind of some general information to help us if we had to make roommate matches later in the summer, or if you were on a wait list, this information would help us to best match you with someone else. So make sure that you are answering this information accurately as much as you can. It would help us make better placements on the back end if need be. So we're going to save and continue. This page, Living Needs and Emotional Support Animal Information, it is wondering, we do have students who have approved emotional support animals on campus and in their room. If you do not want to live with someone who has an emotional support animal, or you have allergies, you can register that with Disability Services to ensure that you aren't placed with in a room that has an emotional support animal in there. And so you can answer these questions. This information is from DSP in order to best get out the language that's consistent within the Fair Housing Act. There's further information on the eligibility and the petition process for disability services down below. So continuing on, all first and second year students are required to have a meal plan of at least 100 blocks. So these are the costs for the 2019-2020 academic year. If you need more information about the dining services or the meal plans, you can visit Sodexo's website. The page won't let you get through until you do select one of the meal plans, and this is what will go on your student account at the beginning of fall quarter. If you wish to change your meal plan, you will need to go to the housing office to fill out a form, and you can do that until the end of the first week of fall quarter 2019. After that, no changes can be made for fall quarter, but changes for winter and spring quarter next year can be made. So here's how you can create a group. So within here, if you're an individual, you still need to make a group and verify it with just yourself. Otherwise, you can make the group, and so we can do that here. So you can either add yourself to a group, or you can create a new group where you will become the leader. So we can start that. So we can do test accounts just to get this in here. And you will make a password that you will give to your fellow group mates that will allow them to access and join the group. So it takes you to the next page, but what you're going to do is you want to go back a page, and then this is how you can see your profile. So here's the name that we have, this .8 dot right here. This would populate with your name if you're the group leader. It's important that once everybody in your group has confirmed, you go back in and you confirm the group. So this is how you would let the housing department know that your application is done, your fellow group mates' application is done, as well as you've gone back in and confirmed that everything is accurate. So we'll confirm that group, and it's been successfully confirmed there. So we can go ahead, save and continue. If I had roommates who I wanted to live with, I would give them all of that information. So the contract agreement, this is the housing contract on this last page. You can download a copy of it with this link right here. So by completing the application, you are agreeing to the housing contract. Additionally, there's our 2018-2019 Guide to Residence Living. And this outlines all of HRE's policies and procedures that we go through on a daily basis. So you can download that. The 2019-2020 Guide to Residence Living will be published in the summer of 2019. Every year we do run that through the legal department here, legal counsel, just to make sure everything's fair and up to code. So you would enter your DUID one more time, thus agreeing to the terms and conditions of the aforementioned housing contract. Continue through. So this is the last page. It says you successfully completed it. You will want to click through one more time. That will fully confirm your application here. And then after that, it shows that you applied, the contract was signed, and the application was complete. Once we do have room selection on the day, which is April 16th through the 18th, there will be another page that pops up in between 7 and 8 here called the room selection page. And since you've already completed the application, it takes you directly to that page. So now this would all be in the application, and it would be within the housing database at this point. So that is the 2019 room selection application. Are there any specific questions about that or about the process that we could go over? Great. So if you do have further questions, please stop by the Housing and Residential Education Office in Nagle, and we can go over floor plans, discuss options, and kind of go over the process more if you need it. But I thank everyone for their time today, and have a good evening.